is Gary Aboud. I'm the Corporate Secretary of Fishermen and Friends of the Sea. I have a short but powerful message. We look up to our leaders. We emulate them. They are our guidelines. So to have a Prime Minister that is calling civilians and citizens idiots and jackasses and saying that he's going to bully the EMA and move heaven and earth to get them to approve, to bypass the law, to bypass procedure, with the persuasion that he has, he appoints the board, he appoints the chairman. They're not as independent as they should be anyhow. That is bullying. That is wajan behavior. Now, Joe Biden resigned. His time had come. Hasn't Dr. Rowley's time come? I'm not in favor of the UNC, but I'm in favor of leadership that can take us and inspire us to a bright future. And with the persuasion that he has, he appoints the board, he appoints the chairman. They're not as independent as they should be anyhow. That is bullying. That is wajan behavior. Now, Joe Biden resigned. His time had come. Hasn't Dr. Rowley's time come? In favor of leadership that can take us and inspire us to a bright future. And it has come for us to recognize that leadership is statesmanship by example. Thank you for watching.
When the refinery was being operated, they earned enough foreign exchange from sales, so that they earned more foreign exchange from the sales of refined products, from fuel, from gasoline and diesel, than it cost them to purchase the crude to put through the refinery. So they were net foreign exchange here.
Went under the Freedom of Information to the Ministry of Energy, and we got the exact data. For 4 years, Petrotrin did not rely on government subventions. So 2016, 17, 18, Petrotrin were not given 1 penny from central government. But yet the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet kept speaking about Petrotrin like that they were going to sink the national economy, saying that if they were kept going, they would lose $2 billion a year. If that were true and Dr. Rowley's statements were genuine, then why is there no evidence of any subvention to keep the company afloat in 2016, 17 and 18? And when they were paid in 2019, $1.2 billion from the Ministry of Finance, that was specifically to pay severance. So are we being run by a government with integrity? Is the public interest being served by officers duly elected who are concerned about the welfare of the least privileged, or are they ambitiously seeking to become the most privileged? These are serious questions.
When the refinery was being operated, they earned enough foreign exchange from sales, so that they earned more foreign exchange from the sales of refined products, from fuel, from gasoline and diesel, than it cost them to purchase the crude to put through the refinery. So they were net foreign exchange here.
When you go to the hospital and see sick people waiting 10 hours, how do you feel? When you go to take a bus and the bus doesn't come, how do you feel? When you drive on the road and you break your axle because the road isn't repaired, when you see WASA paying $1.5 million a day for salt water, desalinated water, and you see so much leaks, how do you feel? When you see a Prime Minister passing legislation that himself and the President should be paid their full salary for the duration of their lives as pension, but everybody else gets less, how do you feel? When you are lied to and have to pay triple for the price of oil and gas, how do you feel? When you see a private company that is secret, that no one knows who the owners are, making $400 and $500 million a year, selling oil and gas to ships, profits that should have been going to the national treasury, how do you feel? When the application for that company was made 6 months before Petrotrin closed, when the applicants, Dr. Rowley's close friend, would not have known or should not have known of the planned closure of Petrotrin. When you are lied to and told that Petrotrin is sinking the economy, when for 3 consecutive years not a penny was paid in subventions, how do you feel? Is the public interest being served by officers duly elected who are concerned about the welfare of the least privileged, or are they ambitiously seeking to become the most privileged? These are serious questions. I also own a private company which I built from scratch. 30 years ago we started, and today it's a prominent contributor in many areas of national development. The UNC has gone down a road where its main spokesperson, Phillip Alexander, with great respect to Kamla, I'm wondering why would she want the UNC to hate and expel businesses? Plenty people who are millionaires in Trinidad, and we have a place here and we have a contribution to make. Now, if Kamla wants to divide the Africans and the Indians and spread hate amongst them and divide them even further, then maybe she should be part of the labas and the dustbin and a cesspit. But don't take all the good people in the UNC and drag them down a road where they want to hate each other. Phillip Alexander, he's a Syrian like myself. Because he didn't make a success of his life, he wants to destroy people that have worked 12 and 14 hours a day to make theirs. Is that what the UNC stands for? For a man that called the leader a drunk and a whore should now be waving a flag conveniently? Could you imagine Mr. Alexander as the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Works? Where does his excellence come from? What has he contributed to national development that the yellows, the UNC, should grab onto him and make him the mouthpiece of the party? Phillip Alexander, I don't have no alliance to anybody. I am looking for love and peace, for unity and for national development that could help all people. Where does Phillip come into this? Don't you see what is happening to the UNC? As it stands now, I'll tell you with great respect, I would be willing to work with anybody to fight the UNC so that this nonsense that Kamla is promoting is cut in the bud and she is kept out of Parliament for life. Just for what has happened with Mr. Alexander and what he has said in the past 2 weeks is enough grounds that nobody should vote for the UNC. Let's shut them down because they are spreading hate and division, attacking national development. Extra foods came from nowhere. Pennywise came from nowhere. Come on, we're not going down like Chavez. We're not expelling 20,000 businesses, Kamla. With great respect to you, Kamla, you are leading your people astray. If it is a strategy of promoting hate, then it's time we shut down the UNC. Completely shut it down. Get rid of all of them because they're not worthy of the flag.
Where we came from, what we came from, what we went through, what we suffered. And in 1995, the UNC slogan was, if you do the crime, you will do the... Remember that? If you do the crime, you will do the time. And that is when we won the 1995 elections. And there we were, the crime went down. Yes. Going down, going down. Then what happened? What happened? PNM again. Yes, Anil, PNM again. And the crime started to escalate. Fast forward to 2010, again, what was it? It was crime. We talked about the crime, and the PNM lost the election. So we hardened. They said, stick break in your ears. How many times you will do the same thing? So after 2010, come to 2015, what has happened? Crime rises every day. Rudy told us, not one day without a murder. We had an anti-crime meeting last Monday in Morva Lavanti. Yes. We got about 200 persons turn up at that anti-crime talk. 200. I thank you, and I want to thank the residents who came out there braving whatever the situation was, because that very day, the night we were going in, there was a murder in the area, that very day. But they came out, about 200 persons, jobs. When we were in office, we created over 51,000 jobs. We did so without a single tax, not one new tax.
I know for UNC, but to me, after Patrick Manning, UNC did sell a lot. I'm telling you. I get a laptop, I get a food card, my mother, got assistance with certain things. She was helping people with down to pennywise. Who could remember Kamla giving out card for single parents to go and get Pampers and milk? Who could remember that? Boy, Ole Kamla had the potential. We need more than what Rowley is dishing out right now. Right about now, the businessmen and the Syrian men and all these men is more important rather than the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We need somebody for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is Kamla.
Good day, everyone. I'm very happy to join you on this Christmas Day to wish you a very blessed, very happy Christmas as you open up your hearts and your minds to share love on this day. The child Christ brought love into the world and gave us hope. So I ask you to keep that hope alive as you enjoy it. And I also ask you to think of those who are not as fortunate as you are, and let's try to share with them some of that love and some of that hope. A very, very Merry Christmas. I thank you all very much. Enjoy